I hope you're enjoying this one wherever you are watching, be it on the Yamaha Racing Blucrue page or perhaps on Discovery Plus in the UK. If you are, oh dear, that could have been very nasty indeed. What a save that was. There's been so many brushes in the race so far, and I have to say, I know there's been a couple of incidents, but generally speaking, they've been doing an amazing job to keep it going up to the top. Oh, Chris Clark on the inside, 26, Kugawa, the Japanese rider, on the outside. And Chris Clark is absolutely determined to win this race. Boccanegra is the 5th rider in the train. There's a big gap back now to Jean Kento Turner, the Japanese rider. Number 3 in 6th place. He could close in on the leading group, but he's going to need to ride very hard indeed to keep up with them. Watch out for G. Can he close in? There he is at the bottom of the screen. Look at the back of the pack. He's the first rider in that second group, is Jean Turner. You may be wondering why his name is Jean Turner, considering he's from Japan. Well, his father is actually from New Zealand, and we're seeing this more and more now. Many of the riders in this category of dual nationality, and that's why we sometimes see them swapping race licenses and racing under a different flag from time to time, from one season to the next. Down the start finish. Chris Clark on the left, 26. Kugawa, absolutely locked together. 5 abreast almost as we get down into the braking zone of the first corner. And this is very much a dress rehearsal now for next time round. But if they keep holding each other up like this, you will see the second group closing. Yes, look, you can see it. They've caught them in the braking zone of turn 3. There was a bit of a gap down into turn 1, and it's absolutely evaporated. And we are back to 14 riders all locked together. Even more in the mix as well, because Charlie Mendes had a nasty high side I saw when I was watching practice on Friday, just coming out of this next corner here at turn 5. I was chatting with him last night, the rider from the Dominican Republic. He's out of action, he's okay, he's in the paddock, but he took a nasty bump when he came down, and he'll be back in action next time. So Charlie Mendes will be a quick contender for the title this season. And of course, what he will need is for not the same person to win the 2 races here. What a lap this has been. Moved up to 2nd, then he led. Now he's dropped down to 4th, back to 3rd. And we're starting the final lap of the opening race of the season. Over the brow they come. And this is the last lap of race 1 for the Yamaha R3 Blucrue World Cup this year. And it is anyone's guess. 14 riders locked together. Gonzalo Sanchez won race 1 in Barcelona last year by 11 seconds. What a different story we've got. At the start of 25, Chris Clark. How did he keep it going there? He was forced out onto the curb on the outside. It's the second time that's happened to him in this race. And again, he keeps it going. Up through the left-hand, a really important corner here. It leads you down to turn 5. And that's a big stop. De Percio's back in front. Turn 18 here in Portugal yesterday. Chris Clark's on the inside. The American, is he through? No, he's not. De Percio still leads. Chris Clark is in 2nd place. Kugawa of Japan, he's in 3rd position. Look at Mario Salas going up the inside of... Oh, and the Indonesian comes up. Agaska's gone from 6th to 5th to 4th. And there's almost contact now. He's side by side with Mario Salas. Agaska, what a prospect from Indonesia this season. What a start to the season he's having. Nobody exceeding track limits, that's good news. Side by side at the front, De Percio and Chris Clark. And it's the rider from Washington in the States back in front. Agaska's up to 3rd. Runs a bit wide on the exit of Portimao corner, down the hill. Chris Clark with the advantage. Alex De Percio is in that 2nd place. And he has a big look, does De Percio, but I think he's going to sit in behind Chris Clark as we come through the penultimate corner on the last lap. This could change though before the line. We've seen so many slipstreaming battles to the line here at Portimao in the past, and we're going to see another one here. And Agaska's not out of this either. I think it's going to be one of the top 3 now, because Boccanegra and Kugawa are too far behind. Salas drops down to 6th. I think Chris Clark's got this. Brilliant run out of the last corner. De Percio's coming, but Chris Clark's done it. Chris Clark, number 5, the 18-year-old American from the Supersport 300 World Championship of Moto America, comes into the R3 World Cup. qualifies on the front row of the grid, and the Stars and Stripes are on the top of the podium. We're going to hear the Star Spangled Banner playing out here in Portugal because Chris Clark has won the opening race on his debut in the championship for 2025, and what a race that was, with the top 7 riders covered by just 0.6 of a second and 11 riders separated by less than 2 seconds at the front of the race. And Chris, the Smerts Racing team, they won't believe this. He was delighted to qualify on the front row of the grid yesterday, so it couldn't really have gone better. He's had some tough times over the last few years, not least the North American Talent Cup. If you remember, he had a big crash at Turn 1 at Circuit of the Americas and was concussed. He's bounced back from those tough times. And Chris Clark wins the opener of 2025 in absolutely spectacular fashion. He's actually got a job, would you believe, as a cash